All right, so we're going to go ahead and click on that. We're live on Facebook. I think it's 9 a.m. So let's go ahead and get it going. First of all, good morning, everybody. It's Javier. I want to just throw one thing at you real quick on a more of a training side of the house. I would encourage everybody to make sure that you have a light in front of your laptop, because the way certain rooms work, lighting is sometimes off. I'm in my home office, and as you can see, I have a window on one side, but not the other, of course, and so therefore it doesn't quite look the same. And when you start to go into these Zoom conferences with potential clients, you want to make sure you can relate to them, they can relate to you, and most importantly, that there's a great part in connecting with how they see you. So I have a ring light, not like the big one that we use for the videos, but a smaller one that goes right behind my laptop. I'm gonna hit the button right now so you can kind of see the difference to what I'm saying, and something like that. And it just makes a world of a difference when it comes to communicating and most importantly, connecting with your prospects. And that's very important, especially when you're dealing with strangers, that people you don't quite know, you never met before. It's important to do just that. And so invest in the light, especially if you're going to be doing webinars. I would highly encourage you to do that, simply because, again, it'll just make the whole thing that much better as well. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started. Let me just swap it, because I have two monitors here, so I want to go ahead and make sure that we get a chance to swap it so that you can kind of see exactly what it is. And as always, I'm going to need your help when we get started. It's not going to be long today, because this is more of an orientation, but I want to make sure you can actually see the screen. So let me see if you can see it. There you go. I can see it. I have a third monitor, which is an iPad. And on the iPad, I see what everybody else sees. I'm logged in as a guest, so I can make sure that everybody's up to speed. So anyways, I want to say thank you for joining us today. We're going to talk about the guide on how to market financial services via email. This is very important because the email has always been there, but it's making a tremendous, and I do mean tremendous, thank you, Marcella, tremendous, and I do mean tremendous comeback, for no other reason that it's a great way to talk to masses of people. And, you know, in the world of email marketing, it takes a lot of volume. If you have just 3, 4, 5 people on your email list, it's going to be very difficult to succeed. But we'll cover that in just 1 second. I just want to start with first things first, and make sure that you are on board with what I'm going to be sharing with you here just momentarily. The first thing I want to just throw out there is that, as you know, we are having a production contest, app count straight down the middle, where whoever has the highest app count is going to win. The price for this month is just 5 brand new $100 bills. And so it's $500 cash. And so this is something that everybody should go for, aim for, and I think anybody can win if they really put their heart into it. Just want to show you the contest standings as of today. I want to congratulate Daniela. Daniela Dubac is in first place with 6 applications. Kathy Loque has 2, tied for number 2 with Joseph Chung. And then Carla Thompson has 1.8. And so this gives everybody a lot of room for growth, because I think that, you know, we should all be probably around 5 or 6 at this point in the month, even though it doesn't take that much to make very good money. I don't actually even take the chances. So congratulations to Neil so far for being number 1. And I challenge everybody to go out there and do their part to get up on that contest leaders board as well. Also, a lot of the things that you're going to see here today, I was mentioning this earlier, and what I was mentioning is important for you to take notes. It's very important that if you don't take good notes, no one's going to do it for you. You know, don't call me during the week, and don't contact me during the week. Ask me for something that was covered on a Saturday, for one simple reason: I don't have that kind of time. I'm not going to lie to you. People get upset when they said, "Hey, I sent you a text requesting the notes from Saturday's webinar, and you never got back to me." I make no such commitment to anybody. I think that between your hand, a pen, and paper, you can take very good notes as it relates to anything you want to see. On top of that, you have your phone. You can take a picture of a slide or your screen if you wanted to. And then, of course, as I mentioned earlier, the one place that you will definitely find everything related to this campaign is going to be at our new page, which is on our Team Crusaders website, which is teamcrusaders.com/email marketing. And then the best place, in my opinion, to get all this stuff is also, especially the recordings, is going to be on Facebook. Look me up on Facebook. You don't have to be my friend, but what you do have to do is just follow me, and that way you'll get the notifications. And when we go live, or in this example, Facebook is already recording this webinar because we're live on Facebook, and it'll be available as soon as the webinar is over. The ones that I put in the back office, which is in the link you see on the screen, that won't be till I get to it, which probably won't be today or tomorrow or Tuesday or something like that. But Facebook will find, you'll find them every single time immediately once the webinar is over. So that's your best shot. And again, I say that with a lot of respect and love, but don't call me. Please don't call me during the week or email me. I just simply want to reply for something that could have been done on Saturday, but for whatever reason it wasn't. If your office can't be on the webinar, I encourage you to dedicate somebody to or designate someone to attend the webinar, not to debrief everybody, but to just simply say, hey, go to Facebook. You can find the recordings there or whatever the case might be. Again, I cannot provide, I cannot commit to providing one-on-one updates to anybody. It's just not feasible. And so the answer is I just cannot do that. Also along those lines, I want to show you or share with you the actual slide that's going to have some of the information that we're going to be covering. When you go to that website I just gave you, which is the / email marketing, you're going to find the modules for this particular campaign. And as you can see there, it'll give the date, the time, and also the link to view it. But the link won't be live until the webinar is over and I actually go back, retrieve it, download it, upload it to YouTube, get the link, put it back on the website. So it's going to take a while, whereas Facebook will have it immediately. That's your best shot. You don't have to be friends. You could just simply, which is fine. I don't care if you want to be my friend, but if not, you can just simply follow and get all the information there as well. Because what's unique about this campaign is we're also going to be showing you, and you're going to lean over my shoulder and see how I do everything that I do as it relates to the email campaign on the larger scale. I've been doing this for, I couldn't even tell you since when, 06, 07 is the first time I think I bought the one list from Robert. And I'll share that with you in just one second as to what that means. And when I talk about Robert, in this example, he's one of the many vendors that I leverage as it relates to marketing online. What you see here is a website, business-list.com. And Robert's the VP over there, and I'm looking for forever and a day. They run several companies, not just this one, but this is just the legal name of where I get a lot of this stuff. And this is extremely important to know because, again, this is primarily for those that are looking to do things on a large scale. If you're happy with where you're at, your production, your income, getting a lead here or there, that's fine. This is not for you. This takes money. It takes an investment. It takes vision. It takes work. And most importantly, it takes patience. And that's something that a lot of people sometimes don't have. So I know I'm speaking to probably 5% of the people on the webinar and on Facebook right now, but I want to truly help you elevate your overall success, especially during the pandemic that we're going through right now. The one that you're going to see me do is starting Tuesday, you're going to see a campaign go from scratch, from nothing, all the way into completion, all the way to applications. And so this is very important. What I recommend everybody to do is hang tight and watch how this works so that you can get an idea if this is something you want to do or not. And it'll be much easier to understand when you start to see some of the reports I'm going to talk about in just one second. Now, I'm working for this particular campaign on the educators. Now I've got a realtor list. I've got, nurses. I've got some for cops. I have literally everything. And so what I'm going to be doing with you, I'm showing you the teacher side of the house, or what we call educators. And the reason we keep calling them educators versus teachers is because some don't like to be referred to, or technically not teachers. They're professors. Some are administrators, but they all fall into the category of educators. And so in this example, this is going to be a very simple campaign. And in essence, what we're going to do is go ahead and start with the list, which is the one that I'm showing you right now. The one on the top is $433. The one on the bottom is $259. And the difference between the two is that the top one has phone numbers, even though a lot of the ones on the bottom list have phone numbers as well. I don't understand it, but it does have fax numbers, gender, which again, this is the same info that we already have. And so one component is going to be a list. So you have to have a list. So if you already have a list of clients, and I'm talking about a lot, because when you start marketing with email, it takes a ton of people for you to try to get a few clients. That's just the nature of the beast. The campaigns as it relates to email by default are not profitable. And they're not profitable because the law of averages is too low. The law of averages simply dictates that it takes the law of high numbers. And so in other words, the formula is you have to apply the law of high numbers to the law of averages to make it profitable. Otherwise, it's just simply not profitable at all. And so as you can see, this list right here contains 123,000 educators within the state of California. Now they have all states. Now you can go by zip code, by cities, and so on. But the best pricing will always come when you either do something at the state level or when you do something at the national level. And I've had the national list before. They're like 1.2 million. It turns out to be too much. And so the way it works is this, and this is why I'm telling you, don't buy anything. I just want to get you an idea of what it entails to see if this is something for you, because it's not just the list. There's other expenses that I'm going to cover here in just 1 second. And so the way it works right now, I have the California list. I have all 123,000. I showed it to you last weekend, and it's great. Well, I think on Thursday, because you can line it up by district, you can line it up by city, by zip codes, however you want, so that you can zero in on a specific geographic location. Or I know that if I'm going to be marketing to LAUSD, I know they're all under CalSTRS, so I can customize my message to them. When it comes to actually campaigning, email campaigning, one of the most important elements is going to be what's called the copyright. And copyright simply means the way an email is written, the message is delivered. And it's always more powerful when you can speak to one specific group of people. That again, if I know they're all part of CalSTRS, well, I can mention CalSTRS because they know CalSTRS, and that's what's going to intrigue them. But if I'm talking about CalSTRS and they are with CalPERS, then it's going to have the opposite effect. You're going to see a tremendous drop, and I do mean tremendous drop in open rate, response rates, and so on. And so the name of the game when it comes to email marketing is to elevate to the highest level the chances of it succeeding in every stage of the way. So I'll give you an example. I have a U.S. consumer list that I got, and it's something like 2.9 million emails. Now, it has nothing but consumers. So what does that mean? I have no clue what the hell is I don't have any clue about anything whatsoever. And so the reason that becomes very important is because I cannot customize a message. So even though it would be going out to 2 million people, I could do a lot more damage emailing 10,000 people that I know for a fact are CalSTRS, CalPERS, teachers, professors, or educators. And that's what this entails. Now, I said it again, and I'll say it one more time. Do not buy anything right now. This is just for you to get a feel of what it is that I do, how I do it, to see if this is something you can see through in its entirety, because some people might have the money for, let's just say, the list, but don't have the money for the server or for the setup or for anything else. And so don't buy any. Also, what I'm going to do for the top producers, and for top producers, I'm talking about if you have literally, let's just call it 5 apps in the last 2 months, I'm going to go ahead and tear apart the list if you want to, and I'm going to just give it to you for free. If you're not producing, this is not for you. If you're not doing at least 5 in the last 2 months, which is only 2.5 apps a month, this does not apply to you either, so please don't ask. You know, go there, you buy your list, and you're going to do everything that I'm going to share with you. But I'm always looking to support producers. I'm always looking to elevate your game. And if your game is here, I just want to take it to a higher level. But if your level is at 0, then you need to have a talk with yourself to see what it is you need to do to start putting something on the board, because there's no reason why not to be producing anything whatsoever. Even though schools are closed, there's a lot of people running around that need our help in many, many ways. So anyway, don't buy anything, period, yet. But this is an example of, now you can go to other websites and look for them, for the pricing. I really haven't gotten better pricing that with Robert. And even though I buy lists off other sites as well, Robert has the best list, in my opinion, that has the highest open rate. And so it all starts with the list. Then the next thing we're going to do is come up with what's called a copyright. Now, what I'm going to show you is not the final copyright, just so you know, but what it is, it's something that enables you to at least position yourself to understand timelines and so on. So what happens is, in this example, you're going to say, I want to do this. And so you're going to buy the California Educator list. You're going to send an email to Robert. And I gave you his email address in the previous slide. You can email him. Now, before you go to the website and click on just purchase, there's great power in us running as a team. So if you email him first and say, hey, my name is Joe, and I work with Javier Rodriguez, and he told me to email you directly to see what kind of a discount I can get if I combine the list with what's called the mail-out service. And so the way emails work is this. You cannot just buy this list and cut and paste, copy and paste all the email addresses onto your Gmail account or your Yahoo account. You cannot do that. And so what that simply means is that Gmail will shut you down. You can only send like 200 emails at a time and blah, blah, blah. We're talking for this thing to work where you need to have minimum of 10,000 emails so you can get a better sampling of the percentage success rates of what's called an open rate. How often are they opening up the email? And so that's very, very important. And so what ends up happening is that MailChimp Constant Contact. If you start to sign up 10,000 people or higher, they're not going to let you do that for a couple of reasons. Number one, they won't let you upload a list you purchased. That's universally across the board with 98% of the email servers out there. They won't let you if it's purchased, or you can lie and you can just simply say, no, I did not. Is this a purchase list? No. Well, great, but their algorithm will catch it. I guarantee you, because they're going to recognize the list. And so that's one thing. And so what you need to do is go to somebody like Robert. You know, they have a different division that does nothing but mass emails, where they send out millions of emails a day, literally millions. And part of the reason that I work with Robert is because he gives me very, very, very fair pricing. A lot of companies, whether it be texting companies, email companies, they've raised their prices dramatically recently because of the fact that they're screwing people, because they know that this is the number one way people are marketing and communicating. And with Robert, he hasn't done that, at least not to me. And so that's why I encourage you to consider using him. And so what happens is that you're going to email Robert. I gave you his email address already. I hope you wrote it down. And then the next thing you're going to do, and again, I'm not telling you to do it right now, but just the next thing you're going to do is, this is like my setup. What's going to happen is he's going to send you a proposal. Now, the way it works with mass email is that there's a cost per email, but there's also what's called a server setup fee. And so I'll give you an example of all the pricing here in just 1 second. So you're going to email him, say, hey, Robert, this is Joe. I work with Javier Rodriguez. He asked me to ask you for the best pricing for the California teachers list combined with email. Now, they won't allow you, most companies that do what Robert's company does, they won't touch you unless you're doing at least 20,000 emails a month. I do more than that. But I spoke to Robert. I explained to him what it is we're doing to kind of let you guys into my world. And, you know, he has agreed to reduce the minimum to just 5,000 emails a month, which is nothing. And so the costs for the emails are very simple when it comes to working with Robert. And that is, now for the record, I get nothing. I don't get affiliate referral fee. I don't get a commission. I get nothing. The only thing I ever shake them down for are discounts, because I give them so much business and they've made so much money off me. And, you know, we have a very good relationship. That's it, on my own, without you guys. I get nothing. I asked about it because if there was a way for me to get an affiliate fee, I would take it. But there's no such plan because the prices are so low already. And so anyways, you're going to say, hey, Joe, you know, this is, or Robert, this is Joe. I work with Javier. I'm interested in the 5,000 email a month package with the California email list for educators. They'll give you a price and it'll be a discount. Once you do that, he's going to email you a proposal. And the email is going to look just like the one that I have here. You click on their green button, which is, of course, the open the proposal. And it's just going to open up like this. Now, the best part about working with Robert and working through me and with Robert is that we don't have, I told him I don't want any of my people to have any contracts. And so there are no contracts involved. Everything I'm going to describe to you is month to month. There's an agreement because there's confidentiality, the email list, and a lot of stuff you can and cannot do. So you have to agree to that, but it's all month to month. But I will tell you this, if you're not going to go for it for at least 3 months, don't start. Don't start because you're not going to like it. You're not going to see the results you want. And this is not a get rich quick scheme. This is something that is just part of business. I spent probably $1,600 to $1,800 a month on the various platforms with emails, including Robert, MailChimp, Constant Contact. I maintain, and the reason that I have so many is because from time to time you will be shut down. Somebody somewhere complains, and one of my MailChimp accounts went down. Well, I have the other one that has the backup info, and they open up another one to replace that one. It's a game that you don't have to play if you do it through Robert, because it's going to be fully compliant with everything else that you're going to need. And so anyway, so the way it works, you have your list, and you're going to have to go somewhere. Now, you could go wherever the hell you want. I'm not telling you to go with Robert. I'm just saying that you're going to have to go somewhere because you're not going to do this through your Gmail, Yahoo, and so on. So you're going to have to do that somewhere else. So the way it works with mine, with this agreement, because this is a separate campaign that I'm doing from Realtors and all the other campaigns that I have, you have to sign this agreement every time. And so the way I did it with him is there's a one-time setup fee of $300. So what the $300 gets you, it's basically your own server or a slot on their server. And that's what makes the magic happen as it relates to sending out thousands upon thousands of emails. You can't do it anywhere else. That's a one-time thing, period. You can't use my server slot. You can't use somebody else's. You have to have your own. And there's just no way around that. You know, I pay it. Like I said, this is, I'll show you the next to my receipt. I pay it every time. And so in this example, I have it, you know, for $300. For this particular campaign, I signed up for the $200 a month package, which is the 20,000 emails. And that's because I'm sending multiple campaigns. And like anything else, it takes multiple impressions. And the reason that I told you it's going to take a few months is because people need to see something multiple times. So you're not going to just send out one email to 120,000 people and bank on that. It's much better to choose 5,000, 10,000 at the very most. I would say 5,000 and just email them twice a month and keep that going for 2 months. And you're going to see a tremendous open rate by the third or fourth mail out, because that's just the way human beings are wired. And you can see the implementation schedule on the bottom: marketing strategy consultation, which is going to be done in week 1, create email offer for review, which you're going to do, which is week 1, domain setup and IP allocation, because you have to have your own IP week 1 right away. They're going to do that for you as well. And then schedule and manage campaigns week 2 to 12, and reporting 2 to 12. One of the other reasons, I mean, I've paid people to email 1 million people for me, and they just simply email me back saying, okay, it's been done. And when I ask them for the report, they're like, well, there's no report, just trust us. And I don't trust anybody, especially on the internet. And so one of the nice things with Robert is that you will get a login, a username and password, which you're going to see me do, by the way, next week. What we're going to do is we're going to log in and see how many emails went out, how many bounced back, meaning they were bad email addresses, how many actually opened it, how many clicked on something. And then, of course, from there, you're going to have a much better perspective as to how well your campaign is going. And also, the word that I'm going to focus on later is going to be scalability. And I'll show you what that means in just 1 second. Now, I'm going to share with you here, this is one of the rough drafts, and it's a very rough draft at that, of an email that went out. And I just show you this for purposes of understanding the power of copyright. This is what you need to understand. So if you come across a good email that's working for you, let us know, and then we'll set it up in the back office and let people consider using that template. They just move it around. Now, what's nice about the email list, at least the ones that I get from Robert and other places, is that it doesn't have just their email address, it has their names. And the reason that's so powerful is because it allows you to customize the emails to them, especially through the service that Robert runs. And so here is an email that went out to Marcella, and as you can see here, forget the Yahoo. It's not going to come from your Yahoo address. I have a 403bagents.us domain that I use for stuff like this because they can relate to a 403. They'll know at least what a 403b is. And so it's always going to come from Javier at 403bagents.us. That's my go-to address. So don't use your Gmail. Don't use your Yahoo. They won't even let you use it. It's a joke. Don't do that. And then, of course, one of the very important elements is the subject line. So you want to make sure that it's something because at that point, the subject line is selling them on nothing more than clicking and opening up the email. And we're also dodging or trying to dodge the spam filters that are out there. So if I put in here free bonus giveaway for you, it's going to go straight to spam. You got to be very, very careful how you do that. And as you can see, this one just simply says pension maximization review for Marcella. That's a subject line that for this particular campaign. And you always want to have what's called A and B split, meaning one email is going to go out just the way you see it. Another one's going to go out completely different. And what the system does automatically, it knows which one's being opened more. And after X amount of emails going out, it dumps the one that's doing bad and keeps only the one that's doing good. That's pretty cool. So that's what's called A-B split testing. The system does it automatically. You won't have to do it. And so once it knows that this one's working better, it's going to stick to it. And the rest of the emails are going to be based on just that. And so as you can see, it's just a simple message that stock market swings have taken a financial. I can't even read that thing. Hold on. My eyesight's not what it used to be. Sorry. Hold on. Damn it. Let's see. Anyways, I hope you can see it because I can't read the damn thing. It says, hope this email finds you well, healthy. The current COVID-19 pandemic has wreaked havoc on many facets of our lives, including our retirement plans. The stock market swings have taken a substantial toll on the balances of millions of retirement accounts with no end in sight. Many educators like yourself are looking for certainty during very uncertain times. This is where I might be of help. I have served as a financial strategist for over 18 years, helping educators address the unique challenges they face when it comes to retirement planning. I specialize helping educators, and it says, and this is something that's part of the class, which is never underestimate the power of bullet points. Bullet points are very short statements made, well, on a bullet point, But the reason the bullet points are so important is because this is what determines whether they click on the email, click on the link in the email or not. If they cannot relate to one of these things, you're going to have a very hard time having a successful. So that's why copyright is so important. And one of the things is we maximize their pensions by leveraging little-known CalSTRS, CalPERS clauses, protect retirement accounts from the fluctuations of the stock market, generate a stream of guaranteed income on top of your pension, provide income for your spouse after you pass away. And then the last bullet point is related to tax-free, provide you with a tax-free income. And then it says, in a nutshell, a financially secure retirement tomorrow starts with proper planning today. To that end, I invite you to view a short video outlining some of the concepts that we teach thousands of teachers every week, which might help you secure your own financial future. Please click here. But see, the click here doesn't come out until all that other stuff came up first, because we're trying to sell them on. Now when the subject line was trying to just have them to open up the damn email, and now the copyright is selling them not on the product, but on the clicking the actual link. So please click here to view the video. You will also be given the opportunity to schedule a free, no obligation retirement checkup consultation from the comfort of your home via a Zoom web meeting. Remember, when it comes to your retirement, you only get one shot at getting it right. Again, I hope you stay safe and healthy, and I look forward to speaking with you soon. Thank you, and then your name or whatever. That's it. Now, part of the reason that this is so simple is because if we start adding images to the actual email body, the spam filters will pick that up. They go by what's called the ratio of how much image versus text is on the actual email. And if it surpasses a certain amount, it gets rated automatically as spam. That's why sometimes you have maybe emails from FFS corporate end up in your, I just had somebody the other day, I think it was George, who had his FFS sent out an email about the new phone numbers or something like that. And George asked me, hey, the phones aren't working. So I forwarded him the email saying, dude, this went out last week. He says, I never got it. He looked, it was in his spam. It's because there's a lot of image. FFS loves to put big old banners and this and images, and they don't understand that that just creates havoc on email and ends up in the actual spam folder. And so again, now that we got them here, out of 10,000, maybe 200 go ahead and click on even open the email, and out of the 200, maybe 100 actually click on the link. So as you can see, it goes down very, very, very quickly. And then from there, what we need to do, and this is not it, this is just a rough draft of the one that's being worked on by somebody for me right now, is they land in what's called the landing page. And in the landing page is really only the whole website, if you would, is what you see. And again, part of the magic behind the landing site being landing page being so simple and cheap looking is because we want to keep it simple, number one. And there's only two things to do here. Number one, watch the damn video. That's what we want them to do. And the next thing we want them to do is click to schedule their Zoom call. That's it. And part of the reason you want to make sure you work only with landing pages and keep them small is because it loads up faster. If it takes more than 3-5 seconds to load up, people will just simply say, screw it, and they move on. You don't need a ton of images. You don't need any of that stuff. We do need the video, but the video is embedded. It's not based on the actual website. It's hosted by YouTube, and so it starts automatically. And if it doesn't start automatically, at least it doesn't take time to load up and buffer it, because it's going to come directly from YouTube versus us putting it on the actual website, which would slow it down dramatically. And that's pretty much it. And then once they get here, they watch the video, and the video is only going to do one thing, which is compel them to click on the damn link to go ahead and schedule their Zoom meeting. That's simple. And now there's a lot of moving parts behind it. So like I said, what I'm going to do for those of you that have been shooting videos, because I'm going to have a generic video that I'm shooting, and I always make 2 copies of it. One of them is, me telling them, call me. I will personally help you. Call me at this number. And then people wonder, will it really be this guy? And lo and behold, it is me. But then I do a generic one that says, for more information, contact the person. Click on the button right there, and somebody will be in contact with you for your Zoom. So it's a generic one, and that's what everybody else uses. My recommendation is to always use your video. So if you have your video, you sent me your video, I'm going to be walking you through what I'm sharing with you right now on the Thursday webinars. Thursday webinars are only for people that are actually doing what we're teaching you, not just those that are just taking notes. By now, we've walked through every element of shooting a video, editing a video, and giving ample opportunity to ask questions in case you got stuck. Now we're moving on. because once you understand how this works, it's not about teachers, it's about people. You can go back and see the database that they have on not just educators, business owners. We're talking about doctors, dentists. I mean, and then you just simply customize your script, your video, you put your landing page, and we're off to the races at that point. And it's very, very simple to do. So again, if you have sent me your video, and it doesn't have to be, by the way, a green screen type of video, because there's a lot of videos that we do that are not based on just simply the green screen. It could be one of the best videos I think that has given us results has been the testimonial video with Alan Guerra that we recorded last year. That's been very good to him because it features him. But it just took place in a hotel. No, it was in someone's home. I shot part of it in the hotel during the convention in Vegas. Then we went to see a couple of weeks later the clients up in, I even forget what city it was, but we went to see them, recorded in their living room. So there was no green screen, but it's not the green screen, it's the editing, it's the playing with it, it's the screwing up the project, but fixing it or looking for help that makes a difference. If you are struggling or if you are having issues with that, call me. That I will tell you. Call me, text me, and I will call you back. We'll do a web meeting or Zoom or something, and I'll walk you through it. I love helping people that are trying, but I'm not really good at working with people that are not even giving it a shot. I'll be very honest with you. I really cannot work with people like that well, so I just simply stay away from them. But if you are trying, at this point, everybody that has sent me their video, there's no reason why you're not messing around and playing around with it. I just started learning the video side not too long ago, and it's all self-taught. And so that's why I'm saying that when it comes to something like this, just let your imagination go wild. I'm recording a new one for my Rich Cop, Poor Cop series because it's going to be part of a YouTube channel now officially. We're breaking it off from our FFS website. And I mean, that's something that everybody could do. Once you get the hang of it, I just got the work back. I can't share it with you because I don't think you'll hear the sound. But let me see if it pops up here. Just 1 second. Let me back out of here for just 1 second and see if I have it. Don't ask for it because I'm not going to give it to you. I just paid for this. But this is something that you can also work on. Let's see. Let me just look at this real quick. On my side. And what this is the opening because I'm doing. And if you are on our, here it is. If you are part of our Thursday, I mean, you're doing, no, not this one. Let's see what this one is. I'll show it to you just 1 second. This is what I had done, and I'll show you two. I'll show you two that I had done on Fiverr. And we're going to talk about this on Wednesday. That's a different one, but this is for my video people. This will help elevate your professionalism. And let me show you what I'm talking about here. This is what's called an intro. I paid $5 for it, literally $5 for it. And this is the way it starts. That's pretty cool. That just starts to, and then your video begins. Something as simple as that people will remember you for. And I'll show you one other one, the newest one. Let's see. Hold on. So that was one, but this is the one that we're using for the new one, a whole new series. And for all of you that are, I know some of you that have contacted me regarding let me see if this shows this one. Hold on 1 second first. No, let me I'll show you this one right here. This is pretty cool because this is going to be we're going to make a really big deal out of this one right here. Let me just go ahead. Let's see, look at, here it is. And so I'm just going to show it to you right now. And this is the main one that I'm using moving forward. And you can get these done as well. So here it is. Hopefully you can see it. 1, 2, and here it goes. Super short. Something like that. And so again, I'm telling you, this is the time, this is your time to go out there and leverage the tools that, leadership in the past could only dream about. Before we had to pay somebody $500, $700 a video. And now you can grab your phone and do it on your own if you have the will to try. And so like I said, if you are out there, let me just stop this sharing so I can kind of see you full screen. Okay. if you are, like I said, doing your part, if you're trying, and you're part of my team, and I apologize for this, but there's just too many people out there that sometimes need help. Go with your upline if you're part of another team, get them up to speed. But I'm talking about members of Team Crusaders and Team Crusaders only. Call me, text me. If you are already, and if I have your video, any of your videos, I mean, some of the videos you send me are literally 5 seconds, which is perfect. It just shows me you're trying. It's amazing how many people would like to, need to do this, but just doesn't mean enough to them. Don't fool yourself by telling you that you're not smart enough, you're not good enough. It just simply does not mean enough to you. Call it what it is. And then when you take ownership of your business, it'll start to mean enough for you to try. We're not asking you to create a Steven Spielberg film. We're talking about, my God, can you just do 5 seconds on the damn phone and get it over to me to show yourself that you're serious about this. If you're serious, I'm serious. If you're not, I'm not. Very, very simple. Time is too valuable to spend it otherwise. Any questions about anything from anybody before we wrap it up? Anybody? You just have to unmute yourself. Everybody's muted. Let me look at the texting questions. It's better if you just talk. But if you want to text,
Javier,
go ahead, sir.
So the purpose of your marketing is to build for direct sales, or to build your organization?
Well, sales. We're just talking about sales right now, 100%.
Okay.
And so your teacher, your educator sees that. They click on it. We do the financial review, what we call the pension maximization, and really do give them different ideas to maximize their pensions. And then, of course, options as it relates to at least rolling over their 403B from a variable one to an index one. But in a perfect world, you do the rollover, get them out of the stock market casino, and put them into an IUL if they qualify for one, and you have multiple sales as well. Before I go any further, I want to ask Daniela. I see you're here, but you're not. You're muted. Daniela, I was going to ask you a question. The clients that you have, you've got 5 applications so far this month. Do you mind sharing how you're seeing them and where they come from, type of thing, if you don't mind? But we'll see if she unmutes herself. George, go ahead.
Hey, can you hear me, Javier?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. No. I think this is great to expand on it because, just to share real quick, I've been doing this for about a month. I know for me personally, I think it's turned into probably about 5 applications the last 2 months collectively on that. And that's just working with my existing client base and the data or the database that we have for the districts we've been working in. One thing I was going to share with everybody else, I don't know if this has been happening to anybody else, but I've been solicited, I don't know, probably about 3 companies for exactly the same thing. They're basically trying to do all the work, or doing the same thing, emailing the people and then trying to sell the leads. And for those of you that ever bought leads, you just don't know what you're going to get. You don't know if it's an actual valid lead or if it's 100 years old. So the fact that you're doing this and you can generate new leads, fresh leads, you got control of it. You can see it from start to finish. Yeah, this is awesome. The one question I do have for you, Javier, is what service you mentioned MailChimp and some of these other services. Have you tried this, or are you thinking about trying this with like mobile text alerts, which is a service that I'm currently using right now?
The answer is a great question, because I know texting has been working for you really, really good. And
really well.
Very well, yes. There are 3 things to do when it comes to generating business with what I'm showing you right now. The first one is email. And email is powerful for obvious reasons. I'm not going to get into it. I just showed it to you. But it does require more work, and it also requires a landing page and so on. The second component you can do with the list is texting. I love texting people because you just upload a list of phone numbers and they receive a text like you've all received it, but it has to be worded properly. And once you word it properly, text is I like text more than anything. 98% of text messages are read within the first 5 minutes, whereas emails can sit under inbox for days and days on end, unless you have a very powerful subject line. And then the third thing that I encourage everybody to consider is what's called ringless voicemail. Ringless voicemail, it's a pretty powerful technology that avoids the headaches of calling people and cold calling. So what that means is I record a message, and it might say something like, "Hey, hi, I just wanted to reach out to you to see if you're interested in a free, pension maximization, blah, 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 blah. Call or text me at this number," whatever. And the way ringless voicemail works, you upload the same list of phone numbers, and what the system does, it drops them in their voicemail box without the phone ever ringing. So they're just, and that works as well because they're going to look at their phone and they're just going to see, have any voicemail. And they're going to be like, I never heard it ring. What happened? And they always check it. Those they check. If they don't know your phone number, they're not going to answer. If you use a private number, they're not going to answer. Ringless voicemail bypasses that as well. But the answer is yes, this works exactly the same way. You just have to be more concise with the text message. And what I like about text message marketing is you can actually go ahead, even through the service you have, which is the one that I have as well, you can go ahead and text them an image. And it could be an image of a teacher holding an apple saying, does your retirement plan make the grade? Something simple like that that intrigues them to click on something that then takes them to the actual landing page I showed you, or just throw another landing page. Landing pages are super easy to put together, especially the ones that we need. We need them to be light. We need them to load fast and so on. Super easy to do. Great point, George. Thank you. Anybody else? Questions? This is it, guys. Please.
I have a quick question, Javier. You mentioned that it's been proven that the email needs to be sent 3 times in order to get average of 3 times in order to get a result. Is that a proven fact? Is that what you experienced?
I would say that it's what the email marketing industry agrees on, and I agree. I tell you right now that I look at my emails that I used to send a lot of emails one time and got some kind of open rate, but when I sent less 3 times, it worked a lot better because they are used to the name, they are used to a lot of different things. And so in industry, and that's why, just so you know, the timeline that I showed you from Robert, I didn't ask him to put it together. That just comes to everybody, and he mentions that in his as well. Got to give it enough time. So instead of emailing 20,000 people, I would say email 5,000 people 3 to 4 times. You'll have much better results every time.
That's a great advice. Thank you.
No problem. Anybody else, please? I don't have the exact number, but I can tell you that in my time, I probably sent around 2 million emails to different organizations. And that's how I built a lot of my organizations. On the mortgage marketing side of the house, I have the #1 producing team in the entire bank. And almost every single one of them came as a result of email. Almost every single one.
Javier, so what's the breakdown? So you send out 10,000, 200 open up, 100 respond, and what's the conversion?
I would probably put it realistically, I would say about 2%, 3%. So if you look, remember, we're in the type of business, depending on how many you send to, in email marketing, there's a saying that says, the money's in the list, meaning, is it a quality list? The educators list is a very high quality. You're going to have much higher than that. If you have what's called the consumer list, which are the cheapest emails you can purchase, just consumers, you're going to have less than 1%. But
that's garbage, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, we just had, as a matter of fact, Mr. I think he is here, Mr. Alan Guerra. He just closed, one deal, and that one deal paid him. One deal he paid out a total. I don't know if you can unmute yourself, because I don't want to get it wrong, but I know the last one was $41,000, and I think the same deal the week or a couple weeks before that was another, I don't know, 35,000. So what I'm saying is that we are in the type of industry. Part of the reason I'm in this industry is because of how we get paid and how much we get paid. Meaning that if you tell me that you close 2 to 3 deals this month just from the email campaign, and that equates to $9,000 to $25,000, I mean, where else can you go do that? And here's the best part, in my opinion: you only deal with people who booked an actual webinar with you online. You never saw them. You never spoke with them. I mean, that's pretty cool. And that's, I get probably 3 to 5 people a week that call me asking me about on the MLO and the reading site, which you're part of. And I have no clue how they found me. It's at YouTube, it's an old email they got forwarded. I mean, and so that's what I like, is that it affords you a great lifestyle where you go from being the hunter to the hunted. And just makes life a lot easier as well. Anybody else, please? Anything before we wrap it up?
One quick question. In regards to the emails, do you get respond like maybe they're not ready for a webinar, but they would like information from you? And if so, what would you send to them to result in getting a webinar out of them?
The answer, first of all, great question. Thank you. And I appreciate that. Understand that one of the things we do is we segregate our list. And that's we're going to be actually covering on the second week. What that simply means is that I send out an email to 10,000 educators. And let's just say I get 5 of them that reply saying, you know what, sounds interesting. I just don't like clicking on links. You know, that kind of what you're referring to. So what we do is once we get responses from them, any kind of response, we put them on a separate email list. The ones that we have already initiated communication with. And that's the ones that are the most. Now, in regards to what it is you send them, very simple. When you have a landing page is intended to do nothing more than have them watch a video and schedule your actual webinar. If they say no, for whatever reason, don't do that, we always have a secondary. I don't have the time to show it to you, but we have a secondary page that has nothing but testimonials, videos, and more educational material. If that's what warms them up for us a little bit more to the point that they're comfortable, then we do that. So the answer is you have to have a separate place. So what I would do is at that point, I only text them. And I said, look, I'm going to send you a link right now via text. Check out this video from one of our actual clients. It's a testimonial. And once you do that, they start to warm up. And then, of course, you're going to, once again, sell them on nothing more than it's going to be a 10-minute, even though it's not going to be 10 minutes, it's going to be longer. But it will be a 10-minute Zoom. And that's why I always say a free, no obligation, and confidential Zoom call. And right now, especially educators, they're pretty familiar with Zoom because of all the stuff going on. That's how they're teaching the class. So they feel very comfortable with it, or more comfortable than the average person out there. I mean, we're doing a lot of webinars right now with cops. And cops are the most paranoid people out there. And if we can get them webinars, trust me, we can get the teachers, and we are getting the teachers as well. And then not only that, but if, like George said, if you have a list of existing clients, which you should have, reach out to them and invite them to do their annual reviews via the webinar as well, because you're going to prepare them for referrals as well. And so that's why it's working so well for George. People are really, really comfortable with webinars today, especially Zoom, like never before because of the pandemic. And so instead of fighting the current, we swim with it. Great question. Anybody else, please? As I don't want to make it longer, but I don't want to cut it short because, like I told you, I don't want to make myself too available during the week. This is it. If anyone has any questions, comments, concerns, this will be the time for all of us to hear it and partake in that. We're gonna work. What we're gonna do is next week you're gonna see the first actual report list. I'm gonna log in and I'm gonna show you. Look, we sent that out to 10,000 because I don't care. Remember the word that I told you earlier was the most important word of all? What was that word I gave you guys? Anybody? I told you.
You're sexy?
That's obvious. That's yeah. What was it? Come on, guys. I told you it was scalability. Scalable. And what that means is simply this, that if I send out now this is the first email that goes out to this particular list, but if we send it out to 10,000, and out of 10,000, 10 book Zoom meeting, what that tells me, it's time to bump it up to 20,000 because I have 124,000 to pull from. Does that make sense? Yeah. If out of 10,000, nobody even opens it, well, then that's a time to retool subject line, retool something. But that's why we have A and B, split test A and B, and the system will detect which one has the highest success rate, meaning who's opening up which email with which subject line, and then it just dumps the other one, and all the future ones just start going to the one that works the best. And so scalability is very important. I don't have my mind map in front of me, but if you don't have a mind map, you got to learn to use a mind map. I don't do anything unless I have a mind map where I can actually look down on it and see. So in my mind map, it says, it starts with the list, it starts with the email service. This one I'm using Robert. I'm using him for the list as well. But one of the important ones, I don't want to talk to that many people. One of the most important elements that I have a little circle here is who are my closers? Because all I want is a split. Who are my closers? Who am I going to send this to? And think about this. Now you're just getting appointments via Zoom. You don't even have to leave your house, for God's sakes. And if it closes, you give me a split. If it doesn't close it, I eat it. Very, very simple. And so that's one of the very important questions that I have right now. Who am I going to be using on my closers? And of course, I always go with the ones that are actually doing something already, not the ones that intend to do something, because they never get around to doing that, or a lot of times we don't. So I want to focus on them and support their cause as well. But for everybody else, I'm showing you the secret sauce. I'm showing you the formula that if it means that much to you, you can give it a shot. If it doesn't, I respect that, but it's something that, again, can definitely keep you busy and most importantly, profitable, why so many people are struggling out there. Last call for questions, concerns, because I got to get another webinar at 10. If not, one of the things that I will tell you is that this will open up a whole different world that you will never believe, even imagine it existed, because now you're in control. And I can just go out, it's simple math. Now I can just go out, buy another list, just do another simple landing page, rewrite the email. Robert would even help you write the email if you're not good at copyright. They do millions of emails every day, and there's no reason to not have as much business as you can handle as well. Anybody else? If not, all right. Well, I just want to say thank you to everybody for being here. We are going to have a webinar on Thursday, but that's for people that have actually emailed me their video and are actually working on it. That's what I'm saying. Otherwise, just kind of, peering through the curtain to see what we're all doing on this side, it won't help you at all. Trust me, we want you to get involved because we want you to succeed, make money, and live life on your terms as well. So this coming Thursday and every Thursday, we're going to continue for the next 3 weeks at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And all you need to do is go to sfswebinar.com and join that webinar. But do myself a favor, do yourself a favor, do something. Go out there and try something new. Get out of your comfort zone. Nothing's going to happen in your comfort zone that you really are going to appreciate 5 years from now. But if you do this, get out of your comfort zone and do what Lisa done, it's amazing how quickly you can go from where you are to where you deserve to be. And that goes for you and your family as well. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll talk to you soon. Good day.